Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm gonna be giving you part 13 of What If Naruto was trained by all the greats at a young age. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto was a godly mage on this channel and enjoy that guys. And I also posted a brand new episode of What If Naruto was taken and fused with Zetsu, the final episode over an Anime King 2. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support, and yeah, without further ado, what do you say begin this new episode? Start the intro. So the last time we left off, Itachi came to attack Naruto inside the forest. As Kisame came there as well, but he was stopped. As Kushina, Haku, and Gabriella was there. It was then that Kisame made his intentions known, as he told Kushina that it's gonna be too bad that it's gonna take his son, and he's gonna be dead afterwards. She lost it, as she attacked him furiously. As Kisame ended up making a massive tidal wave of water, but that was the wrong thing to do as Haku froze it, trapping him inside of it. Meanwhile that was going on, as Naruto had met up with Kakashi as they created a plan, as Hinata and Kiba distracted him, causing a massive distraction, while him and Kakashi came up as they attacked him simultaneously, using Shidori and a Rasengan, but he grabbed both of their wrists. It was then that Naruto used his other arm, fused with chakra, as much as he could as he drive it down. He literally burst right through Itachi's arm, ripping it off in the process as Itachi was forced to flee. As Naruto quickly made his way back to the others, as Itachi was long gone and Kisame was captured, as he rushed off to meet up with Alisa, as he had told her to stay out there while he handled something. He saw that she was okay as he picked her up and brought her along. We then had a time skip. As Naruto was called, yes, Kisame wanted to speak to him. He went down there to the lowest level of the Onbu prison with Ibiki and Snavi, making their way down there, as Kisame spoke to him and told him that he's gonna die very soon, so he might as well enjoy his time, as leader of the Akatsuki is gonna be the one to kill him. As Kisame didn't see any hope out, his chakra was sealed away. He was going to be sent to Kiere, and they would give him, well, a rather painful death, and he knew that. They would probably use this as an event, making the others watch as well. As Naruto told him that all he has to do is to get stronger, and he's gonna crush the rest of the Akatsukis. As Kisame simply chuckled and told him that pain is a lot different than you think, and you won't be able to stand up to him no matter how strong he gets. As Naruto told him he will just see, well, he won't, because he will die soon. We then skip as Itachi has got his arm back, thanks to Kakazu reattaching it. As he asked Pain what his situation now, Kisame had spoke how Pain knew that. That was rather mysterious. Betraying the Akatsuki only leads to your death, as it was still Itachi's job to make sure that Nine-Tailed Jinchuriki is brought into the Akatsuki. As that was going on, Sasuke was furious. Once again, Naruto did something that blew him out of the water, and he surpassed him. As Gabriella saw that, she saw that Sasuke was acting rather strange. Yes, he was acting like he really wanted Naruto dead. As Naruto had spoken to her after Kushina had told Naruto that she trusted Gabriella, it was then that they got a message, as Navi informed Naruto and Kushina about it. Naruto had an uncle out there. Yes, he had an uncle, and he was dying. As Kushina did not want to visit him, because the man decided to stay back while she needed help, while she lost everything while she was here in Konoha, so she did not really like him at the moment. But Naruto wanted to meet his uncle, and he told Kushina if she was not going, he was going to go without her. So she sighed, she went along with him, as it took them a couple of days to get there. As Naruto was able to meet his uncle, as the man here was mostly grey. After performing a medical technique, Kushina knew that he was dying. Yes, he was going to die soon. As they had a long talk, as Kushina was angry, Yet she was pissed at him not coming. As he spoke to her as he told her his reasons. He also gave Naruto a couple of scrolls. Yes, with some jutsus in them, mostly water-based. Even a jutsu that can summon a kraken, as Naruto was rather interested in that. He then gave Kushina pictures, yes. Pictures that make her heart water. She never thought that she would be able to see her mother ever again. As it made her so happy, as she broke down in tears. Like all Uzumaki, their temper was fire one moment, and next moment, their temper had cooled down as she apologized to her uncle. As they spent the rest of the time together, as Naruto got to know the man. So yeah guys, that's basically that's what I thought. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So let's begin this new episode. After a few hours of fishing, they returned back as he showed Naruto how to properly cut and clean the fish. When they returned back to his hut, Kushina was still there, sitting by the fireplace, looking at the pictures. She looked up at them. You back already? Mom, it's been about 4 hours, said Naruto. Checking her watch, she realized it was that long indeed. Well, did you enjoy fishing? Well, it was actually a lot of fun, said Naruto. As he looked at Saisho, I wish we could do it again. Saisho smiled sadly. So do I, he said. You can't, said Kushina as he closed the book. Wait, does that mean we can stay a while longer? Naruto asked. No, this place is too dangerous now, but you could come home with us, uncle. As Naruto turned towards the man, that exciting grin, but he saw the man was looking downcast. What's wrong? You said you were sorry you didn't get to spend time with us. Don't you want to now? Naruto, Kushina, I am dying. I certainly don't know how much time I have, but it's not long now, he said. She stood up and made her way towards him, so you'd rather die here all alone. Rather with the people that love you. He looked embarrassed. The truth is, I'm getting weaker as time passed, and I don't want to be a burden. She reached and took his hands. Uncle, you will never be that. Naruto and I would love to have you with us. Please, Uncle Saisho. We lost so much time already. Let's not lose what time we have remaining. You said you want to get to know Naruto. Now here's your chance. And I would love to have you there as well. Please come with us, Uncle. Please, Grand Uncle, Naruto said. Don't you want to meet Hinata, Alisa, Haku, Kiba, and everyone else? I really want you there, so please come back with us. Listen to your appeals, his heart ached, and the truth is he wanted to stay with them. He didn't want to be alone anymore. He slowly nodded. Alright, I'll come with you. He was immediately embraced by both of them. Wonderful, said Kushina. Great, said Naruto. You should know though, I will slow you down to a walk. I can't move fast over long distances anymore, he said. As he had a lot of pride, and he hated to have exposed his weaknesses, he didn't want to slow them down. Oh, that's no problem, said Naruto. I'll make my clones carry you. He shook his head at the thought. Knowing that he needed Naruto help to get him there, well, carrying him, that would be rather embarrassing, but at least he will be with his family. As he smiled. Alright, let's have some more fried fish. And I need to pack some stuff, he said. Before dawn, as Naruto and Kushina were already out there, as his uncle then came out, as he placed it on the hut as he started to burn. What are you doing, Naruto asked. I will never return here, and this a way to say a final goodbye. As he tossed the torch into the hut, as he looked, with a smile on his face. Goodbye, he said. Ready to go, said Kushina. Yeah, I think I am, he said. Alright, said Naruto as his clones made forward, as he took a careful hold of him, as they began their journey back to Konoha. Time skip. He was lying in his cage, and enjoying the ride. He was halfway there, as he thought about the welcoming that he would get, as he was sure that the entire village would turn out to see little old him. Well, he loved attention. He wondered how they would execute him though. Beheading was a normal method. He laughed to himself, nah, way too boring. He was sure that they would go with burning of the stake, or be torn apart by live animals. But if they go with burning me, it's more colorful and take longer. The Mizukage would want to make a real show of it. He would want everyone to see the fate of those who turn against him. Kisame couldn't blame him. After all, things that went differently, the Mizukage would end up being shaved in a pile of chum. As he looked at his surroundings, he was sitting in an iron cage locked inside an iron wagon. He was bound up in chains, about 50 chakra suppressor seals bound to his body. And the Anvu was even told him that if they even sensed him, even though he couldn't at the moment, molding chakra, they would activate all the explosive tags. And that would be that. There were about 100 explosive tags all over the iron gate. He preferred that though. That would be a quick, clean death, and that would piss off the Mizukage to no end. But he had no way of activating his chakra at the moment, so he just gonna relax and take a nap until he get there. As he fell asleep, Kisame came through, as the wagon had stopped moving. That was odd, because he saw sunlight. The last couple of days have been moving from sunrise to sunset. He wondered what was the break in the routine for. He then felt it, that familiar chakra signature. Well, this is gonna be interesting. I wonder if he's here to kill me or free me. Kisame laughed as the iron doors of the wagon's door pulled open. Well, the Mizukage is gonna be pissed anyway. As a figure stepped inside. Hello, Kisame. Hello, Itachi, said Kisame. So what brings you by? You're here to kill me. No, our leader has simply chose to remove you from our membership. The Akatsuki has no further interest in you. Kisame laughed. Oh, so does that mean that you came to save me out of friendship? I am both touched and surprised. I didn't think you had it in you. Friendship? No. I'm here because you're an extremely powerful ninja who still hasn't reached his full potential. To let you be executed would be a waste, therefore, I'm freeing you. Just like that, you don't want anything in return. The Akatsuki would object if I continue to work with you, but they will not seek you out if you simply go. While I have no request at this time, you may consider yourself to be my death. Should I need your help in the future? Kisame nodded. Sure. Now get me out of here, he said. I don't suppose you know what happened to my sword. It was included in the cargo, but not your ring. That likely remains in Konoha. Kisame nodded. No problem. It's not like I have a use for it anymore. You know that Naruto has a ring now, does he? As Itachi sounded uninterested as he unlocked the cage. Doesn't the thought of him taking the ring off your severed arm piss you off? No, I'm relieved though to know when I defeat him, I'll recover what is mine. Oh yeah? And when's that going to happen? Not for some time. There's no reason to rush. And I think I'd further develop my strength before I face him again. Is that eagerness in your voice, Itachi? Asked Kisame. Itachi said nothing more as he freed his former partner. Time skip. He felt the power coursing through his veins. He felt so powerful, as his body was just flushing with so much power. As he looked at the bandits, there were now 6 of them. They were around 50 of them. The rest of them were on their knees begging. They should at least have some pride and die with their honor. As he smirked to himself. Tell me, where's Akushi? And I might consider letting you guys live. They all started to say they didn't know. As the ninja smirked at them. He might be in the cave, one of them stuttered. What cave? The man asked. There's a cave about 3 miles from here where we hide our loot. When you want to avoid patrols, we stay there sometime, the man said, as you could hear the desperation and fright in his voice. I see, and you're sure that Akushi will be there? No, but he might be there, especially if he is hiding from you, one of the bandits said, as the ninja simply smirked. Well, it's the first place to start then. So, will you let us live? No. Dragonfire. As he breathed out a massive stream of flame after speeding through Hanstein. It was so intense that your screams were silent as your bodies got roasted instantly. As he looked at the charred remains, he looked at his hands with the black markings as he burst out laughing. Yes, Sasuke Uchiha never felt so truly wonderful. Moments later, damn it, Sasuke, Kurina muttered under her breath. They had beaten the bandits with ease. When few of them made a run for it, she wanted to go after them herself, but Sasuke ignored her and went after them himself. No, she was trying to catch up, while Sakura and Shino was tying up the other prisoners, as she felt the chakra signature, as she saw smoke rising up in the air ahead of her. As she came to a small clearing, as she rushed forward, she saw him. He was there laughing as she saw bodies. 6 bodies burned, beyond recognition. Seeing that they were up against ordinary bandits, she asked him not to use a curse mark, but he still used it. She had tried to be reasonable with him, but it was time that she set him straight about a few things. As she jumped down into the clearing next to him, as he stopped laughing. Sasuke, what happened here? He turned around towards her with that sick smile. No worries, Sensei. I took care of things, he said. By which you mean you killed them? Like I said, I took care of things, he said and nodded. Why did you kill these men? Surely, they weren't a threat to you. Them? I could have killed 1,000 and never broken a sweat. Then why didn't you try and take a prisoner? Didn't really cross my mind, they're just bandits after all. It seemed easier just to clean up a lot of them. Clean up? These were living, breathing men, Sasuke, not stains on the wall. They were the enemy, so I killed them. What's the problem? I'm a ninja, and ninja kill. She nodded. Ninja kill, she said, as she agreed with that. But we don't kill, unless we have to. The last few missions you have been awfully eager to kill, especially when you have that curse seal activated. You are determined to slaughter whoever you fight. Am I supposed to apologize for that? For wanting to kill my enemies, he said, as she could sense his chakra level rising a bit. Given where it was now, it was a frightening rise. Since the battle is over now, release your curse mark. Why, he said. Because I told you to, Jenin, and I'm your sensei. And I gave you an order. He looked at her as he didn't do anything. Sasuke, Release the curse mark or be prepared to brought on charges when you return home. He grit his teeth but he let it go, as he knew he couldn't keep it up for long without chakra exhaustion. But he liked the feeling of all that power coursing through him, and he hated being told that he had to give it up. As he felt the power leaving him, he nearly collapsed as Kurenai had to grab his arm. "I'm fine," he says. He pulled his arm away from her. She sighs. "Sasuke, there's nothing wrong receiving your team member's help. There's also nothing wrong with being as powerful as you can be," he said. "I noticed that you tried to help Sakura and Shino as much as possible. I am the only one that you try to hold back. There's a difference, Sasuke. Sakura and Shino are working to develop their inner abilities, but you're only relying on this curse mark ever since you got it." "So what?" he said. "It's a tool. No one would complain if I was using a scroll or weapon in battle. Those make you more effective too." She looked at him closely. There's always been something a little worrying about him. He's always been a good ninja with the potential to be a great one. But there was something beneath the surface that was troubling. Since he got the curse mark, it has been coming out more and more. He was obsessed with power and getting stronger. His ambition to grow stronger was swallowing up everything else. She really didn't know what to do. She shook her head. "Sasuke, a scroll or weapon would not affect your mind. I have not failed to note that your personality has begun to change. You always have issue working with teammates, but now you seem to want to work with them less as possible. I don't mind working with them, so long as they don't slow me down. But I'm going to get stronger no matter what," as he started to walk off. "And if they become a burden, I will no longer need them. Teammates are not burden, they're strengths." He didn't feel like arguing with her anymore. It was pointless in a way. "Are we going back now?" he asked. She accompanied him. "I don't suppose they give you any information before you cleaned up those men?" "Sorry, nothing," he said. As they got back, Sakura and Shino finished tying about 20 prisoners as the bodies were through the camp. As soon as they returned, Sakura rushed over. Kurenai went to check on the prisoners, as she wrapped her arms around him quickly, as he stiffened before he relaxed, as he had agreed to let her hug him. "Are you alright, Sasuke-kun?" He could hear the concern in her voice, and when it came from Sakura, it did not annoy him that much as it did with Kurenai, and he found that their hugs were not so bad, as he agreed to be a bit more affectionate in public, to keep her close. At first it bothered him, but he was getting used to it, as he gave her a big smile. "I'm just fine, Sakura-chan. I took care of the ones who got away. No problem." "Oh, I knew you would. You're so incredible, Sasuke-kun." There was worship in her eyes and her voice. "I really like her eyes. What the hell? Just where the hell did that come from?" he thought to himself. He reached out and touched her cheek, making her blush. "Well, thank you, Sakura-chan," he said, as he saw her blush deepen. "She's really cute." To his surprise, he felt the urge to be alone with her, as he saw that Kurenai and mixed her personality were talking to prisoners. As he grabbed her hand, "Come on," he said. She was surprised, but she went with him without complaint, as they went into the woods, as he knew they couldn't get lost because Mr. Personality friends could find them. "Sasuke-kun, we're gonna get in trouble." "Geez, Sakura, I just want to show you something. It'll only take a minute." As he knew that she would go anywhere where he wanted, he knew that she would do anything he asked. She was his. He saw it earlier, and he spotted it again. "Here we are," he said. "Sasuke-kun, we're in the middle of a forest. What is so special about this place?" As he pointed to a tree branch above them, as she saw a red and white plant. "A vermilion," she said. And it didn't hit her that Sasuke led her right to the spot underneath it. He put his arms around her. "You're trembling." "It's nothing," she said nervously, as she felt her knees getting weak. "Do you remember the dance when I told you when I kissed you, I will give you my whole heart?" "I remember," she said. "Well, that still applies, but we can make an exception for the flower." As he leaned and gave her what she has been dying for so long. "He's kissing me. Sasuke-kun is kissing me," she shut her eyes, as she kissed him back. If she died right now, she would have died happy. This was one way to control her. That was all it was. He had no real feelings for her after all. None. There was no chance he could really care for her. Yet he found himself holding her just a bit more tighter and kissing her a bit more eagerly than he thought. "Sasuke, Sakura!" The two of them jumped apart. They both glared at Shino, but he didn't seem to notice. Well, he just didn't really care. "Kurenai-sensei want you back at the camp immediately." Sakura frowned. Hearing Shino's emotionless voice was like being dunked in ice water. He had to ruin the most amazing experience in her entire life. "Come on, Sasuke," she said. "Sure," he said. "Just let's do one thing first." As he leaped up and picked a single flower, as he came back down, as he placed it in his pocket. "I hope she keeps on getting stronger. I will hate to have to leave her behind," Sasuke thought. As they came back to the camp, them going away for just a couple of minutes wasn't so bad, as she decided not to just bring anything up right now. They're on a mission after all. It seems like none of his men knew where he is. He abandoned them when he knew that we were in the area. That means we have no leads to where he might be. I don't have to tell you guys how vital it is that we find him soon. The longer he's away, the longer he might get away with his captive. If we don't have a lead, what can we do? Asked Sakura. Kurna frowned. I hate to do it, but we're gonna have to split up and search. At times like this, she wished that Sasuke was a Hyuga, rather than an Uchiha. See if you can pick up any sort of trail, but if you do find something, be careful and do not engage. Our opponents are missing Nin and Jonin. We will deal with him as a team. Is that clear? She said, looking at Sasuke. Yes, very clear. Time skip. About 3 miles away from his position, Sasuke found that cave as he saw some cigarette butt. As he stepped into the cave, as he activated Scar's mark, his Sharingan already activated. Come on out and face me, Sasuke said. There's no getting away. As the missing Nin Akushi stepped out, as he had the Lord 8-year-old daughter in front of him, his captive. One hand was over her mouth and the other had a corner at her throat. Tell the rest of your team to get away immediately, or I swear I'll cut her throat. Akushi said desperately. My team isn't here, Sasuke said. I tracked you down alone. Sure you did, like some child who tried to face me alone, even with all that weird chakra. Now call to your team and stand aside. I have a better idea. How about you let the girl go and two of us split? I don't care about fighting you, boy. I just want to get the hell out of here, Akushi said. Sasuke shook his head. You're not leaving this cave alive. Shut up, Akushi said as he grabbed the girl even roughly. If I don't get out of here, she dies. The only way out of this cave is through me. Just let her go and take me on. Forget it, kid. Now get to the call to your team. Sasuke looked at the girl. Close your eyes for a second, sweetheart, he said. As she did so, in a blur, Sasuke grabbed the man's hand as he pulled it back and shoved it forward as it pierced through his own eye. As he picked up the girl and held her with one hand, Sasuke scoffed. Too bad, it was so easy. I really wanted a challenge. So that was the Jonin. Pathetic. As he held out the girl, don't worry, you're safe now, he said. Time skip. Well, Sensei, Sasuke said, as he just returned the girl to a very happy and grateful Lord of the Land of Fire. They accomplished your B rank and it was all thanks to him. So how did I do? Things work well, Sasuke, and I'll write you a formal recommendation, she said. But I'm still worried about you and your behavior. You need to focus on your team, and less about acquiring more power. He just smiled at her, as they both knew that he wasn't going to change a thing. On his way home, he was in an excellent mood. He even invited Sakura to come join him and his family for dinner. As he killed a Jonin, whose skills that Kurna had respected. As he burned those guys, it felt incredible. He looked at his hands, the hands that will kill Naruto and then Itachi. But Naruto first. I'm getting stronger every single day. Your time is coming soon, monster. Very, very soon, he said. Time skip. As Tsunade was in the interrogation room with Ibiki, this girl that came into Konoha, as she wanted to become a part of Konoha, so she was treated as a guest instead of a prisoner. Well, unless situation changed. Ibiki told me that you wish to defect to Konoha. Yeah, as she bit down on whatever she was about to say. I would like to be a leaf ninja, she said. Why? Asked Tsunade. She knew the reason, of course, everything was in the report. But Tsunade wanted to hear and judge for herself. Well, basically I'm tired of having to run and hide from other names all the time. I also want a home and a place for myself. Considering what you've done, it's asking a lot to Tsunade. I know that, she said. That is why I brought you my present. Tsunade nodded, and quite a present it is. But whether we should accept it as face value, it's another matter. The Kunoichi temper started to rise. Look, why would I turn myself over to you if this was a trap? I knew you could kill me. We certainly would. But you might be doing this to save someone else, or devotion to your leader. I'm not that selfless. Look, I told you there's someone that will vouch for me. He's not in the village right now, but he should be back soon. Are you sure that he will vouch for you? I'm sure. He seemed like a decent guy, if kind of scary. Very well. Until Naruto return, you will stay here as our guest. You mean prisoner, the Kunoichi said. No, I mean guest. You will stay in the apartment rather than a cell, and we won't chain you up. She mumbled something, but she remained quiet. Meanwhile, I see, said Hayashi. Returning from mission, she had to give report to her father. As Hinata was currently in front of Hayashi. You may go, he said, as she just came back from a mission with Kiba and Kakashi. She was hoping that Naruto would return because it's been 3 days since she went on the mission, but he hasn't come back yet, and she missed him so much. Yes, father, she said as she left. She just wished that he would be less formal with her, and more like he was before mom died. He was so cold and distant when she wanted warmth. She turned to Kushina and Naruto. He was her heart and her courage, as Kushina had turned to a second mother for her. She never expressed that out loud, but it was how she viewed her. Being away from Naruto for so long was very hard. Not being able to turn to Kushina for guidance or comfort was hard as well. She came to a halt. Hinata. Oh, hello Hanabi, I'm sorry. I'm very tired right now and I want to rest. I'll see you later, as she stepped around her. But Hanabi stepped back and blocked her. Sister, I challenge you to a match. Fine, we can spar tomorrow morning before I leave to meet my team. She didn't like sparring with Hanabi. Before training, her younger sister had beaten her a number of times. But that had been a long time ago. Hanabi had been no match for her for over 3 years. Hanabi was good for her age, but their current skill level was too far apart. No, not tomorrow. I want to fight you right now. Hanabi demanded. I'm going to prove to father my worth. All he ever said to me that I am nothing compared to you. Hinata frowned, as she could remember the same thing. She sympathized with her younger sister's predicament, but she couldn't really help her, as she knew her sympathy would not be appreciated and to lose a spar on purpose would be dishonorable. Hanabi, I will spar with you tomorrow. I just got off for a mission and I'm tired. So please excuse me. As she tried to get past once again, Hanabi stepped back. Byakugan, she said. I said I was fighting you today. Byakugan, as Hinata dropped in her stance as well. Don't do this, sister. Spars are only permitted in the dojo. If we fight here in the hall, you will be punished for it. Hanabi was about to reply, but the boy spoke. Hanabi, stop this foolishness right now. As it was Neji. Hinata has already agreed to spar you tomorrow. Just wait until then. Stay out of this, Neji, she said. As venom was in her tone. This has nothing to do with you. Actually, he said. It is my concern, he said, as he approached him his limp. As a cadet member, it's my duty to protect the main branch members. Typical. Everyone is always worried about protecting Hinata. No, Hanabi, I'm trying to protect you. If Hayashi-sama learn about this, he will severely punish you. Who knows, he may even put the birdcage seal on your head and place you the cadet members. For your punishment. Hanabi paled under that threat. Father wouldn't do that. Are you sure? Not even if he caught you attacking clan here in the middle of the hall. She scowled as she deactivated her Byakugan. Fine. As she glared at Neji and then her sister. I will wait until tomorrow. And with that she stormed off. Hinata deactivated her own Byakugan. Thank you, Neji. It is quite alright. It's a bit odd playing the peacemaker than the troublemaker for a change. Say, Hinata, you haven't been starting the fights as Lee, have you? What? He laughed. Never mind, he said. Meanwhile, as Ino heard the bell ring. Welcome to the Amnaka. Oh, Hichikamaru. She didn't turn. You. As she noticed they were holding hands. What the hell is she doing here? Asked Ino. Shikamaru released a breath. Temaru wanted to start a flower garden, and she wanted to get some seeds. Ino crossed her arms. We don't have any. Ino. I said we don't have any. Not for her, said Ino. As Ino glared at Temaru. Temaru just met the glare with ease. Under different circumstances, she would have taught this girl some manners. But she was bound by the requirements to be a hostage. Shikamaru, let's just go. It's not a big deal. No, he said. Ino, I know that you've suffered, losing your father, just like I have. But you cannot take it out on Temaru. Of course I can, she's the enemy. She and the others helped kill my father. Ino, she's not the enemy anymore. She's the honored guest of my clan. One who wants to spend money in your shop. As for what she did in the battle, she was simply a soldier, following orders. Please, stop being so troublesome. Ino glared at him. You two are getting rather chummy, huh? Don't you have any shame? She and the others betray and attack us. How can you like her after that? Easy, because she's a good person. He looked at Temaru. He still hadn't let go of her hand. Kind of scared out of the time, and very troublesome, but a good person. Kind of like you, Ino. I know you're way too good of a person for punishing someone for doing their duty. Now, can we please get some seeds? Ino uncrossed her arms. I'll do this for you, Shika. But she's still not welcome. As Ino went to get the seeds. Thank you, said Temaru. You're welcome, troublesome woman, he said. Meanwhile, I'm so glad you're back, Hinata. Alisa said, I asked Hanabi to play with me, but she ignored me and said she had to train. I'm sorry she was a bit mean to you. She has certain issues she has to deal with. When will mom and brother be back? I really miss them. I know, I miss them too. I don't know when they will be back, but it should be soon. Hinata, the radio cracker is alive. Can you hear me? She immediately pressed the send button. Naruto-kun, is that you? It's so good to hear your voice again. I missed you, said Naruto. Oh, Naruto-kun, I miss you too. Where are you? We'll be near the South Gate very soon. Can you come meet us? There's someone I really want you to meet. I'll be right there, she said. All the sorrow of the past 2 weeks were now forgotten. Can I come as well? Alisa asked. Sure, let's go meet them, said Hinata. So, this is Hinata. A old man smiled at her, and the 8-year-old next to her. And you must be Alisa. I'm very happy to meet the both of you. Hinata bowed. I'm most pleased to meet you. Shy Susan. It is wonderful that Naruto has found more family. Alisa stirred up a bit nervously. Are you really? Brothers, granduncle. Yes, I really am. If you don't believe me, just ask Kushina. Does this make you my granduncle too? Asa asked. Naruto and Kushina explained things to him, so he understood. Well, of course, if you're Naruto's little sister, then that makes you my grandniece. She smiled. Will you tell me stories sometimes? He reached down and chuckled as he rubbed the top of her head. Of course I will. From now on, when Naruto and I are on missions, he'll be the one taking care of you, said Kushina. I will? He asked nervously. Yeah, welcome home, uncle. I hope you enjoy babysitting. A bit off to the side, Naruto was kissing Hinata, as she didn't mind doing that in public. She was just so happy to have him back. Welcome back, Naruto-kun. I don't ever want to be away from you again, she said. I don't want to be away from you either, he said. But she said, orders are orders. But at least you should be getting a few days before your next mission. Yo, Naruto. As they both looked up. Oh hey there, brother, said Naruto. I can't wait to tell you and introduce you to my uncle. We will talk about that later. But for now, the Hokage want to see you. Immediately said Kakashi. Now, said Hinata. I'm afraid so, Kakashi said. Surprisingly, they didn't go to the tower, as they went to Onfu headquarters, as Nad and Ibiki were waiting for them. As soon as they entered, Naruto recognized her. You. Teiwaya grinned and nodded. When I heard the stories, I knew it had to be you. Naruto Namikaze, demon of a leaf. What are you doing here? He asked. She's here requesting to become a leaf ninja. What do you think about that? Asked Nade. I'm not sure, he said. I don't really know her. Ibiki flipped over the report. She said that during the battle, her squad encountered you. She said you'd kill her squad mates, and you were in a position to kill her as well, but you let her go. Would you say that is accurate? Yes, I guess I would. Why did you spare her, Naruto? She didn't really give us a reason, said Snaddy. You didn't tell them what your friend was up to, Naruto asked. No, I left that part out. What are the two of you talking about? One of her teammates was about to rape a girl when I showed up, Naruto said. And she was trying to stop him. That is why I let her go. I see, said Snaddy. What would you say if I told you she brought us some very good information in coming over to us? Probably, said Naruto. She didn't seem the suicide type. She doesn't look like someone that would give herself up and then trick us. I see. Return her to her apartment. She remained under confinement for now. Hey, said Teiwaya. Do you still not believe me? I do. But until this is over, you remain at the apartment without contacting anyone. Ibiki, take her away. I hate to do this to you, Naruto, but you and your team are leaving on a mission tomorrow morning. What? But I just got back 15 minutes ago, said Naruto. I know, but it can't be helped. If the information Teiwaya gave us is accurate, we have to act on it immediately. We can't risk circumstances changes. Your team has reconnaissance and espionage specialists, and you and Kakashi are two of the most powerful ninjas in the village. Your team is ideal. As she looked at the both of them seriously, I am assigning Team 7 a S-rank mission of the most highest importance. S-rank, said Kakashi. Really? What's the mission? Said Naruto. As Nade frowned, as Naruto sounded a bit too eager. This was one of those times when her personal feelings conflict with her Hokage duties. Yet again, she was putting her godchild in terrible danger. We will start to go over the mission details as soon as we get Hinata and Kiba here. But I will tell you this. The mission objective, I can state it for you in 2 words. Yeah, said Naruto. Kill Orochimaru, she said. Time skip. As Karen was currently in the lab working, she was alone. She usually have lab assistants, but ever since Orochimaru gave her the task to fix his arms, she couldn't have any. She couldn't risk it because she had no idea what to do, and she couldn't have anyone find out. She took a sample of his blood and took his x-rays. If she had a lab assistant, the person would have revealed everything was a lie. But doing this for him, she could do whatever she wanted. She was running her healing engine motors right now and taking power from the base as the lights flicker off and on. The previous base commander had been livid and did not want to allow her to draw so much power into her lab. She got to Orochimaru and told him that the commander was getting in the way of her work. Not 15 minutes later, the man was butchered. In front of everyone, the current base commander was eager to give her whatever she wanted. Of course, the one thing she wanted, she was forbidden by Orochimaru to have. She could not leave the base. Anything she wanted to send out, anything she wanted delivered to her, would be done. But she herself was a prisoner, if not by name. Worst of all, Orochimaru had decided to remain here until she cured him, or until her time limit ran out. I hope things are going well, Karen-chan. He said to her just the other day. I would hate that to find someone else to be my chief researcher. As she shivered, the tone that he used, it sounded friendly, but she could tell the underlying tone underneath it, the warning. As she sighed, she wondered if she only had weeks left to live. She knew she could get out of the base if she needed to, but Could she escape the ninjas that tried to capture her? And if they did capture her, she knew that Orochimaru would make her suffer. Curing him was impossible. So she came up with another alternative. Time skip. Is all of this real, Naruto said, as the 5 of them were going over documents, medical data, security codes, blueprints, and even someone inside ready to help us, said Naruto. I know exactly what you mean. That is why I have Ibiki interrogate her fully and wait till you talk to her. It does seem like a bit much, but Ibiki believed her testimony to be true. And we have some other evidence from other sources. Just what sort of evidence? Kakashi asked. We received report that Orochimaru has been severely wounded since the attack. We also received word that he was unable to perform jutsus, she said with a grim smile. Seems like Sarutobi was able to cripple him during their fight. So, is that why he ran away? Kakashi asked. As Kiba laughed, oh man, I can't wait. If he can't perform any jutsu, he will be a sitting duck. As Tsunade and Kakashi both frowned, as they saw Naruto nod in agreement. Don't believe that for a second. He's a Sani just like me. Even if he can't work his arms or use jutsus, he's still dangerous. Kiba grinned. What's he gonna do? Bite me? Maybe, she said. Keep in mind he can still use his legs and he still have the Sharingan. He's an evil genius, and I wouldn't even guess what kind of nasty surprise that he prepared. You never actually seen him, Kakashi said. I got to know him as a young ninja, and he was frightening. You actually sound a bit scared, Naruto asked. If you ever known him, you'd understand why. Is he that powerful, Naruto said. He was considered to be your father equal, said Tsunade. That should tell you everything you need to know. Hokage-sama, if he's truly so powerful, why are we being assigned to assassinate him? Asked Hinata. Because your squad has the right ability for this task, unfortunately. You and Kiba can reach him without being detected, while Kakashi and Naruto can do the actual assassination. What? Kiba said. We just help them get there, and they're to do the actual job. How come? Said Kiba. How many people have you killed, Kiba? Asked Tsunade. He looked embarrassed. Well, none. She looked at Kakashi. How many people have you killed? He had served in the Great War, and he was not on full Black Ops. About 600 total, he said. And what about you, Naruto? Naruto got uncomfortable, and his eyes flashed where Hinata was. I don't know exactly, but somewhere over 300. She looked back at Kiba, that's why. Hokage-sama, Kakashi said. While I appreciate the fate you're showing us, don't you think we should have some backup? She shook her head. This mission will take you deep into enemy territory. Stealth would be the key to survival, not only getting there, but coming back. Any more than a basic 4-man platoon will make it difficult to master your movements. Believe me, I'm not eager to send you or Naruto into Rice Country. But this is simply too good of an opportunity to pass up. Go there, make contact with the traitor, and eliminate the target, and then get the hell out of there. What do we do with him? Said Naruto, the one who sent Teiwaya all this info, and want to help us. When you are near, you will contact him on the radio frequency, as specified, and he will help you to get in. Once that is done, you let him go. Let him go? That's it? Said Naruto. Yes, apparently whoever he is, he's desperate to leave Orochimaru's service. All he wants is for us to help him leave and kill Orochimaru. She looked at Kakashi. I want to hear your opinion. If all this is real, then of course you have to take advantage of it. And even though I feel more comfortable with a larger strike force, I believe this team can do it. Tsunade nodded. So do I. Time skip. You're leaving tomorrow morning. On an S rank? Kushina sounded furious. Naruto nodded. That's right. Me and my team. I hope it's okay I asked Hinata over for dinner. She waved that off. Of course it is. But what is Tsunade thinking? You just got back. And why she send you on an S rank? Naruto smiled because she know me and my squad are awesome. Kushina frowned. They're S rank for a reason, Naruto-kun. She shouldn't send you on such dangerous missions. I don't suppose you care to tell me about the mission, she asked. You know I can't do that, but I promise to tell you all about you when I get back. You'll be amazed. Seeing you this excited only made me more worried, she said. Time skip. As dinner was over, as Hinata was snuggling up next to Naruto, as they were on the bench. As Kushina was going to talk to Tsunade on what she can do for her uncle. I'm sure the Hokage will be able to do something. I really like your grand uncle. He seemed wise and kind. Yeah, I like him too. I really hope Godmother can fix things, said Naruto. I've really missed you, Hinata-chan, he said. I miss you too, Naruto-kun, she said. As he kissed her, she kissed him back. Meanwhile, from the second store window, Mom, will I ever get to fall in love like that? Asked Alisa. I'm sure you will, honey, but give it time. You have a lot of growing up to do. Shaisha chuckled as she rubbed the top of her head. Just make sure not to break too many hearts when you're older. The next morning, as it was 6, Kushina hugged her son and kissed him on cheek. Please be careful, Naruto-kun. Whatever the mission is, take it seriously. And come back unhurt. I will, Mom, he said with a smile. Shaisha grinned. When you get back, Naruto, we'll find a place that we can go fishing. I really like that, said Naruto. And we will see if your mother still remember how to cook fish. What? Are you questioning my cooking skills, old man? She asked. Just wonder if you still remember how to make fish, you know. Those are the creatures that live in the water. Seeing his mother turning red, he decided it was a good time to get going. Time skip. Your lungs and your system are in terrible condition. What happened? Are you a heavy smoker? No. I use a jutsu to breathe. Salt water. Says Aishu. That's it? Even if the jutsu didn't work as well as it did, that shouldn't explain this damage, she said. I use it hundreds of times, he said. Shiger mates. Well, that will explain, she said. If you did not come here, you would only have a couple of months left. Can you help him, Snazzy? I know that if anyone can, it will be you, said Kushina. I think I can repair most of the damage. But you must never use that jutsu again, and you must not smoke or even be around too much smoke. Your lungs will be weakened for the rest of your life. I have no reason to use that jutsu and I've never been a smoker. I thank you for what you can do to help me, he said. Since your health is good otherwise, I will set the operation for tomorrow. Will he be fully healed? Asked Kushina. Not completely, damage is too extensive for that. But it should be enough to allow him to live normally for a couple of years. Both of them were incredibly happy, because he thought he had a couple of months, but now year and years, he could spend more time with his family. As the both of them smiled, as tears of joy came to the old man's eyes. Time skip. It took them 6 days to get there, as they took a lot of detour because of Hinata and Kiba. When they warned him that someone was in the way, civilians or ninja, they could not be spotted. As they crossed into Rice country and masked their presence, as they approached a mountain base that was their goal. They waited until after dark to make their approach. So, do you think all of this is just a trap in order to ask Kakashi? In a whisper. Kakashi set his radio to the frequency. We're about to find out, he says. He hit the send button. Hawk. To Cage Bird. Please respond, he said. Meanwhile, turkey, ham, salami, cheese, lettuce, onion, mayo, mustard. As she put it all together, she made a perfect sandwich. She smashed, she brought over to the couch. As she sat down, as she was in a baggy shorts, and a simple white t-shirt. As she started to eat, as her visitor looked at her. You're going to get crumbs in the sofa, he said. She glared at him as she chewed. Who are you, my goddamn mother? Like I care about crumbs. Given the clothesline on the floor everywhere, he could believe that. So, are you here to interrogate me again? Ibiki shook his head. I'm here to ask you of 2 questions, not interrogate you. What's the goddamn difference? The difference is, if this was a proper interrogation, you would be having a sandwich and sitting on a couch. He had to admit dealing with her was different, as his subjects were usually scared to death. Either they knew who he was, or his reputation, or terrified of being dragged to the envoy quarters. Of course he got the tough guys that didn't scare easily, but after a while he broke them. But Teiwai was truly not afraid of him. She saw him as a simple servant, doing his job. Having someone view him as annoying was very different, and not a good different, but he had orders from Hokage to treat her as a guest. In any case, I need to ask you a few more questions. More goddamn questions, she said. I've been doing nothing but answering questions since I got here. I told you about the Sound Village, its curse seal, its forces, its past movement, how the hell I was recruited, what the hell do you want? I have many more questions to ask you, and you will answer them or I will inform the Hokage that you're no longer being cooperative. I never said I wouldn't answer, as she took another bite. So, she asked, someone really needs to teach this girl some manners. Too bad it couldn't be me. What do you know about enemy operatives? Spies that might be in Konoha working for him. Spies? I was a part of his elite bodyguard. I don't deal with spies. Well, except for the geek. Geek? I was part of his bodyguard a couple times when he met with him. The guy wear a headband of Konoha, so I guess he have to be a spy. I don't know his name though. Can you describe him? Tall, thin, silver hair with glasses, around my age. Maybe a bit older. Very quiet. You know, very basic geek. Ibiki frowned. Something about that touch and memory. So he was a teenager with silver hair and glasses. Oh, and I think he was a medic in. Lord Orochimaru mentioned something about him working in medics one time. Are you sure? No, not really, but I think so, she said, as she took another bite. If I show you a picture, would you be able to identify him? I guess. Knowing what they will be discussing, he brought a copy of the ninja register with him. Every active leaf note was inside. Here, take a look and tell me if you see him. As she flipped through it. Here he is, she said. Are you sure, said Ibiki. Of course I'm sure. He's the geek. Ibiki clenched his fist. He knew him. Kabuto. He was currently receiving training from the Hokage herself. This could be bad. The Hokage wouldn't like one of her students being a traitor. Thank you. We will talk again tomorrow. Whatever. Meanwhile, Karen felt the communicator buzz. Sudden hope and dread filled her heart. She already checked the data to make sure there weren't any listening devices in her lab. As she switched it on and hoped, this was what she was hoping for. Teiwai was an acquaintance, not quite a friend. Using some of her connections, she managed to get a message out to her. As they made a deal, they will help each other get what they wanted. Karen passed up the information, and Teiwai agreed to deliver it. Now she was like to find out if her plans had succeeded, or she left her here to die. This is Cage Bird, go, she said. A woman voice, Kakashi said. He shrugged though, it didn't really matter. This is Hawk, we are coming for the crow. Are you ready to assist? On condition that Kate Bird go free, she said. Yes, that is the agreement. Enter through point G and 30 minutes I will meet you there and assist. 30 minutes, understood. Out. Out. Karen switched on the generator to full power as that was shut down the base for a moment, and the cameras. As she rushed towards her computer and got to work, being a genius has the advantage. As she had downloaded all the information, she popped out a disk and put it in that case. The disk has everything she worked on, all the secrets. Everything, the curse seals, everything. Once she was fearing Orochimaru was dead, she could sell to the highest bidder and never have to worry about money ever again. In the meantime, she has a Mario here to tie her over. As she tucked away her disc, as she checked her watch. As she set the tape work program to start to erase everything in the database. As paranoid as Orochimaru was, he did not back up anything else. It was all right here, and the hard records were in her lab. As she rushed over to the file cabinets, as she pulled out a large drum of kerosene, as she splashed kerosene all over the lab and doused all the papers. She thought for a second before she did anything that call had come from one of Orochimaru's man, as she was running right into a trap. But she shook off that possibility. If Orochimaru suspected this, he would have strolled in here and dealt with her immediately. She would have not got a chance to do so much harm. As she quickly set up everything. The moment she was gone, everything. Yes, it's a time to get free. Team 7 made their way to point G. As they saw a patrol went by, and it will come back in the next 8 minutes because they were watching it. What do we do if this turned out to be a trap? Kakashi's eyes smile, probably die, or get taken prisoner. Well, that's a cheerful thought, said Naruto. You ask. Someone is coming in, Hinata whispered. As the wall opened up, she quickly made her way out, as she had no time to waste. Orochimaru should be in his room as it was marked. He can't use his arms or work jutsus, but he has a Sharingan, and his neck can extend to about 20 yards to bite. The security system is down, so are the lights. There will be an explosion in... She checked her watch, 9 minutes. As she went past him, have fun storm the castle, and you better kill him. Hey, we don't even know your name, said Naruto. What do you want, a date? She said, as she jumped away as fast as possible. Forget her, it doesn't matter. Hinata, I want you to warn us if we're going to run into anyone. We will avoid them if at all possible. Now let's move, as Kakashi led them through the secret passageway. Meanwhile, Orochimaru was in pain, as the pain medication did little for the agony in his limbs. I will not live like this for 3 years. Damn you, Sensei. Why couldn't you have just died like you were supposed to? He then heard noise outside. He muttered to himself what was those stupid, incompetent guards doing. As he got off his bed, boom, his door exploded. He jumped back and activated Sharingan as two figures enter. Kakashi rushed inside with a raillery. Come to pay me a visit, Kakashi. And you. Judging by your appearance, you must be Minato's brat. We're here to kill you, said Naruto. For your betrayal and crimes against Konoha, we're here to carry out your sentence of death. As Kakashi rushed forward and Naruto rushed forward his blade, Orochimaru bent backwards and away from them, as he could still trap them with his Sharingan. As he tripped Kakashi, as Naruto leaped towards him. A snake came from his mouth and a blade came from his snake mouth. As it went right through Naruto, Orochimaru smirked. Disappointing. Poof. It was a clone. It's over. As something ripped through his chest. He looked down. Not bad, he said, as he looked behind to see Naruto. It's over, said Kakashi, as his hand crackled with lightning. Not yet, he said, as he opened his mouth, knowing that he couldn't do anything in this state. As a large white snake leaped from his mouth. At that moment, there was an explosion from the lab, as alarms started to blare. Kiba and Hinata were watching the escape route, as they kept it open as well. As they heard shouts and footsteps. There are about 20 of them coming this way, Hinata said. Are they just guards or are they any ninja? Asked Kiba. Just guards, she said. No problem for the 3 of us then, he said. As Akamaru barked. As Hinata dropped in her fighting stance, right to the door barked. Meanwhile, Kakashi teared right through the white snake as it leapt from Orochimaru's mouth. As he saw blood spew everywhere, but it was not a body, it was something else. How the hell did he summon this thing without hand sign, Naruto said. And where did he go? Naruto. I think this is Orochimaru's true form. You mean he's not human, Naruto said, as he looked at the monster. Not anymore. Move, he said. The snake snapped forward towards them, as Naruto dodged back and shoved his blade up. The snake momentum, the blade stabbed right through its mouth. Naruto infused his limb with chakra as he pulled on his blade, ripping into the snake mouth. Blood splashed on him. The snake slashed around and smashed him into the wall, as the katana was pulled from his hands and stuck right in the snake's right side. As it then came forward to attack Naruto again, but Kakashi dashed forward, as Kakashi flipped using his Sharingan as he drive right into the snake's flesh. As Naruto appeared out of nowhere, Rasengan, as he slammed it right into the snake as well. He used a lot of chakra. It did not just cut Snake's body, it tore it to half. The half with the head and the launch katana dropped right at Naruto's feet. As Orochimaru was weakened, exposing his true form of his was an act of desperation. He was simply too large of a target to avoid his enemy strikes or get away. If he was able to possess one of their bodies, he might have survived. But then again, if he could have done that, he wouldn't be in danger. I'm just sorry I couldn't have this chance years ago, said Kakashi, as he created another lightning blade. As he drive his hand right through Orochimaru's head, ripping through it, as blood and gore spread everywhere. And with that, the great Sani, the monster, the snake genius, died. Our orders has destroyed the body completely, Kakashi said, as he went through hand sign. As he started to skewer the body with flame, Naruto looked outside as he saw Hinata and Kiba. They were 20 men on the floor unconscious. We did it, he said. We're going to leave in a second. He's real dead, said Hinata. He really is, said Naruto. Kakashi exited the room that was now burning as he covered up his Sharingan. Alright, he said. Let's get out of here the same way we came. With Hinata guiding them, they start to move. Time skip. There was a knock on his door. Not expecting visitor, Kabuto entered. As he saw two Anvus there. How may I help you, Anvu-san, he said. Come with us, one, the owl man said. You'll need to answer a few questions. I see, he said, a smile. As he walked peacefully. Out of nowhere, he spun. His hands became a blur. As he sliced the one with the owl man's throat. As he sliced into the other one's chest. It was not the first time he has been underestimated. As he wasn't like those weak ninjas after all, which he pretended to be. As he dragged the bodies into his apartment and put on one of the uniform. Time was of the essence, so he would not bother to take anything with him. There was nothing incriminated in it anyway. He always noticed his time in Layfield's might end suddenly, but no, it had. His work as a spy was over and need to return to his lord. He only had 3 regrets. He would have liked to say goodbye to his adopted father. He would have liked to do the same with his own real friend Noval. And he would have liked to complete his last mission, but it seems Tsunade's death would have to wait. But he could stop for one quick pit stop before leaving the village. Time skip. Sasuke, there's a phone call for you. I got it, Mom, thanks, he said. Sasuke is her good friend. He didn't name himself, but he was sure that Sasuke knew his voice. A little trouble came up, so I'm taking a little trip. Just want to let you know. I see. Would this trouble have anything to do with me? No, of course not. Though a few questions may be asked, but there's no reason for my trouble to bother you. I'm not sure we'll see each other again, but I'm suspecting that we will. I will give our mutual acquaintance your best. As the line clicked dead, Sasuke placed it down and turned to his room. Kabuto hung up the payphone as he returned to making his way through the village. With the Envoy ID, it would be easy. Time skip. Look. You have no choice of winning this fight. Just leave. I'll let you go, said Naruto. No. Now that he's dead, there's no reason for me to live. As Kimmaru dashed forward, they were leaving when Kimmaru had found them. He was outmatched as he was up against all of them, but he still would not leave. And they didn't want to kill him, they just want to get the hell out of here. But this guy just kept on coming. As he was stopped by a dozen of Naruto clones. That bone thing was strong as he stand up Naruto katana. As Naruto saw the way he fight, you're a 5th level master of the blades. I am. But it doesn't matter now that he's dead. You mean Orochimaru? Yes. He betrayed the Leaf Fields and was our enemy. It was our duty to kill him, said Naruto. Yes. And it pleased me to know that he met his end as ninjas with honor. But he was the only one that ever understood me. The only one that ever cared. I am ill and soon to die. When I die, my clan will die with me and be no more. I had hoped to live on Lord Orochimaru's heart, but now that he is gone, when I leave this earth, I will be truly forgotten. Kiba shook his head. You actually think a bastard like him cared about you? You were just brainwashed. Shut up, said Kimmaru. What the hell would you know about it? As he charged forward, but he then collapsed as he coughed up blood. Naruto-kun, be careful, Hinata said. You're dying, said Naruto. I'm sorry. The boy looked up at him as he coughed some more. His medical injuries were worse than he thought. And after going up against these 4, his body had took a toll. Even if they didn't want to kill him, he was trying to kill them. He had nothing to live for after all. And besides, to be killed by the same people that killed Orochimaru, they had honor. It's the best way to... As he coughed up more blood, as his eyes closed, and he stopped breathing. He reminded me a bit of Haku, said Naruto. I think at least everyone need one precious person in their life. Too bad his has to be such a complete bastard as Kiba. Alright, Kakashi, we have to keep going. We're not out of Rice country yet. As Naruto left 2 clones behind to give him a proper burial, and they made their way off. They ran into no further trouble and Team 7 returned home. October 8th, early in the morning. You're absolutely certain, asked Nelly. Kakashi's eyes smiled, yes. Orochimaru's confirmed dead. Who had the killing blow? She asked. That would be me, he said. But I couldn't have done it without my team's help. She smiled, as she felt relief. That of course go without saying, she said. You should all be proud. You've helped remove the greatest threat Konoha has ever known. You, though, she said, are going to be known as the killer of Orochimaru. As she reached into a drawer and pulled out the envelope. Here, this is yours. What is this? He said. That is a check for 50 million Ryu. All the bounties on Orochimaru. There was complete silence. Till Kiba shouted, Punches on Sensei from now on. Brother, said Naruto. Brother, Naruto said, as Naruto caught him as he fainted, as all of them blinked. He's out cold, said Naruto. But guys, it'll be instant, so right here for the next part of this, to do. Like, subscribe, comment, no below, and turn bell notifications they posted. Remember, share all of your friends and social media platform. But more for now, see you guys soon. Peace.